Elena Ruiz thought she was sending her baby's ultrasound to the man who abandoned her, a final message to show him what he'd thrown away. But her cracked phone had other plans, and that intimate photo landed in the hands of Dante Morelli, a ruthless mafia boss still bleeding from the loss of his pregnant wife 5 years ago. Within hours, 100 of his men surrounded her workplace with a single command: "Come now." What she didn't know was that her innocent mistake had reopened a wound so deep it would either destroy them both or give them the only chance at redemption either had left. Because when a man who's lost everything finally finds something worth protecting, he doesn't just guard it, he goes to war for it. And Elena was about to discover that sometimes the most dangerous thing isn't falling into a killer's world, it's realizing you never want to leave. Subscribe and drop a comment if you believe in second chances, because this story is about to prove that fate doesn't make mistakes. Only broken phones do. Elena's feet hurt. The diner floor was sticky. Coffee stains marked the counter. 3 more hours until her shift ended. She pressed a hand to her belly. The baby kicked. 5 months now and barely showing under her oversized apron. Refill? A trucker shoved his cup toward her. Sure. Elena grabbed the pot and poured. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. The trucker left a $1 tip. She swept it into her apron and walked to the back. Her manager was smoking by the dumpster. Elena pulled out her phone. The screen was cracked. She'd dropped it yesterday. Now her contacts looked wrong. Names merged together. Numbers scrambled. She scrolled to the ultrasound photo. The baby's profile was clear. Tiny nose. Delicate fingers. Elena felt sad. She typed a message to her ex. "You deserve to see her once." She attached the photo. Her thumb hovered over send. "You coming back or what?" her manager yelled through the door. Elena hit send. She shoved the phone away and returned to the counter. The night dragged. More coffee, more plates, more fake smiles for customers who didn't tip. At 2 in the morning, she clocked out. The parking lot was empty. Her car sat under a broken streetlight. She drove home. Her apartment was small. The rent was late again. The walls were thin. Elena collapsed on her bed. She was exhausted. Sleep came fast. Across the city, Dante Morelli stared at his phone. The ultrasound glowed on the screen. His chest tightened. His breath stopped. "Boss?" Rocco stood in the doorway. "Everything okay?" Dante couldn't speak. The image burned. A baby. An ultrasound. Just another ultrasound. But it wasn't just anything. 5 years ago, his wife had shown him an ultrasound. 3 months later, she was dead. The baby died with her. "Boss?" Rocco stepped closer. "Find who sent this." Dante's voice was cold. "Now." Rocco took the phone. He looked at the screen. His face changed. "Sir, this could be..." "I know what it could be." Dante stood. "Someone thinks they're clever. Find them." "Yes, sir." Rocco left quickly. Dante walked to the window. Miami sprawled below. Lights flickered across the bay. His reflection stared back. Dark suit, dark eyes, dark everything. The ultrasound was still on his phone. He couldn't stop looking. His wife's name was Isabella. The baby would have been a girl. He'd picked the name Sophia. Someone was using that memory against him. Someone would pay. Elena woke to sunlight through broken blinds. Her phone showed 3 missed calls. Unknown number. She ignored them. Work started at 10. She showered and dressed. The mirror showed her belly more clearly now. Soon she couldn't hide it. The diner was busy. Morning rush meant pancakes and eggs. Elena moved between tables automatically. A black car sat across the street. She noticed it during her break. The car was still there an hour later. 2 men in suits sat inside. They watched the diner. Elena felt nervous. She told herself she was paranoid. Nobody cared about a pregnant waitress. Her shift ended at 4. She walked to her car. The black car followed her out of the lot. Her hands shook on the wheel. She drove home. The black car stayed 2 vehicles behind. Elena parked. She ran to her building. The elevator was broken. She took the stairs. Her breath came fast. Inside her apartment, she locked the door. She looked out the window. The black car sat at the curb. Her phone rang. Unknown number again. She didn't answer. Someone knocked. Elena's breath caught. She looked through the peephole. A man in a dark suit stood there. He was tall. His face was calm. "Ms. Ruiz?" His voice was quiet. "I need to speak with you." "Go away." Elena's voice shook. "I work for Dante Morelli. He'd like to meet you." Elena felt scared. She didn't know that name. She didn't know any Morellis. "I don't know what you want." She pressed against the door. "Leave me alone. It's about a text message you sent. An ultrasound." Eleanor's stomach dropped. The ultrasound. She'd sent it to her ex. How did this man know? That was private. Her voice was stronger now. You sent it to the wrong number. Mr. Morelli would like to understand why. It was a mistake. My phone is broken. Tell him I'm sorry. The man was silent. Then he said, he insists on meeting you. We can do this easy or hard. Elena felt angry. Are you threatening me? I'm informing you. We'll be outside when you're ready. His footsteps faded down the hall. Elena sank to the floor. Her chest tightened. The baby kicked. She didn't have a choice. These people knew where she lived. They knew where she worked. Elena changed into clean clothes. She grabbed her phone. Her hands wouldn't stop shaking. Outside, the black car waited. The man from her door opened the back door. Ms. Ruiz. He gestured inside. Elena slid in. The leather was cold. The door shut. The car pulled away. They drove through downtown. Palm trees lined the streets. The bay appeared on their left. Where are we going? Elena asked. Mr. Morelli's office. The driver didn't turn around. They entered a wealthy neighborhood. Mansions sat behind gates. Security cameras watched from every corner. The car stopped at an iron gate. It opened automatically. They drove up a long driveway. The mansion was huge. White stone, tall windows, gardens stretched in every direction. Eleanor felt sick. Rich people, powerful people. She was nobody. A waitress with a broken phone. The man opened her door. This way. She followed him inside. The entrance hall had marble floors. A chandelier hung overhead. Everything was spotless. They walked through hallways, past closed doors, past men in suits who watched her. The man knocked on a door. A voice said, "Come in." Eleanor entered. The office was dark. Heavy curtains blocked most of the light. A desk sat in the center. Behind it sat a man. He was younger than she expected, maybe 35. His suit was perfect. His face was sharp. His eyes found hers immediately. "Sit." He gestured to a chair. Eleanor sat. Her breath caught. She was terrified. "You sent me this." He turned his phone toward her. The ultrasound, her baby's face, her private moment. "I'm sorry." Elena's voice was small. "My phone broke. The contacts got mixed up. I thought I was texting someone else." "Who?" "My ex. The baby's father. He left when I told him I was pregnant." Dante studied her. His expression didn't change. "Why would you send him this?" "I don't know." Eleanor felt tears coming. "I thought he should see her. I was stupid." The silence stretched. Dante stood. He walked to the window. His back was to her. "Do you know who I am?" His voice was quiet. "No. I run this city's operations. People don't cross me by accident." Elena felt confused. "I didn't cross you. I made a mistake. That mistake reminded me of something I lost." He turned. Something shifted in his expression. "My wife was pregnant when she died. Someone killed her to hurt me." Elena's chest tightened. "I'm sorry. I didn't know." "Of course you didn't." Dante walked back to his desk. "But now you're here, and I need to understand if this was really an accident." "It was." Elena stood. "I'm just a waitress. I don't even know your world exists." He stared at her. His eyes were dark, cold. She couldn't read them. "Please," she whispered. "I just want to go home." Dante opened his mouth to answer. Elena swayed. The room tilted. Her vision went black. She felt arms catch her. Strong, steady, then nothing. Elena woke slowly. The ceiling above her was painted white. Crown molding ran along the edges. This wasn't her apartment. She sat up fast. Her head spun. She was on a bed, a huge bed. The room was decorated simply. Expensive furniture, heavy curtains. The door opened. A woman in scrubs entered. "You're awake." "Good. Where am I?" Elena asked. "Mr. Morelli's estate. You fainted." "I'm Dr. Chen. I checked you over. You're dehydrated. The baby's fine." Elena's hands went to her belly. "I need to leave. Mr. Morelli wants to speak with you first. He's downstairs." The doctor left. Elena stood on shaky legs. She walked to the window. Gardens stretched to a stone wall. Armed men patrolled the perimeter. She was trapped. Panic rose in her throat. She grabbed her phone. No signal. The door opened again. Dante entered. He looked different, less sharp, almost concerned. "You need to eat." He gestured to a tray on the dresser. "The doctor said you've been skipping meals." "I can't afford to eat much." Eleanor crossed her arms. "I'm fine." "You're not." Dante stayed near the door. "I apologize for frightening you. That wasn't my intention." "Then let me go home." "I can't." Eleanor felt angry. "Why not?" "Because I made inquiries about you, asked questions, used your name." His voice was careful. That means people know I'm interested. People who would use you to hurt me. That's not my problem. Elena moved toward the door. I don't know you. I don't want to know you. I understand. Dante didn't move. But until I'm certain you're safe, you stay here. You can't keep me prisoner. I'm not. Something shifted in his expression. I'm protecting you. From what? From men who would hurt a pregnant woman to make a point. The silence hung between them. Eleanor's breath caught. She was scared. Not of him. Of the truth in his words. How long? She asked. A few days, maybe a week. I have work, bills, a life. I'll take care of it. Dante stepped aside. For now, rest. Eat. You're safe here. He left. The door closed. Elena heard a lock click. She was a prisoner, no matter what he called it. Elena didn't eat the food. She lay on the bed and stared at the ceiling. Hours passed. The light faded. Night came. Someone knocked. A different man entered. Older, tired eyes. Ms. Ruiz, I'm Rocco. Mr. Morelli asked me to drive you home. Elena sat up fast. Home? Yes. He's arranged security outside your building. You'll be watched but not restricted. She didn't trust this, but she couldn't stay here. Elena grabbed her things and followed him. The drive was silent. Rocco pulled up to her building. Two men in a dark sedan sat across the street. They'll be there all night, Rocco said. If anything happens, they'll respond. Elena got out. She ran to her apartment. Inside, she locked every lock. Her hands shook. She called her ex. He didn't answer. She left a message. It's me. Don't try to contact me. Just stay away. She deleted his number. Then she deleted the ultrasound text thread. Too late, but it felt necessary. Elena tried to sleep. Every sound made her jump. Car doors, footsteps, the wind. At 3 in the morning, glass shattered. She bolted upright. A crash came from downstairs. Shouting, running. A gunshot cracked through the night. Elena screamed. She locked herself in the bathroom. Her phone showed no signal. Heavy footsteps thundered up the stairs. Her door splintered. Men burst through. Ms. Ruiz! It was Rocco. We need to go, now! What's happening? Elena was crying. Someone tried to reach you. They're gone, but you're not safe here. 2 other men surrounded her. They rushed her down the stairs. Glass covered the lobby floor. The front door hung broken. Outside, more cars, more men. They shoved her into a vehicle. Rocco got in beside her. Where are we going? Elena's voice shook. Back to Mr. Morelli's estate. It's the only place we can protect you. The drive was fast. Elena couldn't stop shaking. This wasn't real. This couldn't be her life. The mansion appeared. The gates opened. They pulled to the entrance. Dante stood on the steps. His shirt was unbuttoned. He looked exhausted. Rocco opened her door. Elena stumbled out. Dante caught her arm. His touch was gentle. You're safe. His voice was quiet. I promise. What was that? Elena pulled away. Who were those people? Rivals. They learned about you faster than I expected. They won't try again. How do you know? Because you're here. Behind walls they can't breach. A boy appeared in the doorway. Small, maybe 8. He stared at Elena with wide eyes. Nico. Dante's voice softened. Back to bed. The boy didn't move. He just watched. Elena felt something shift. The boy looked scared. Alone. It's okay, she said quietly. I'm okay. Nico studied her. Then he turned and disappeared inside. My nephew, Dante explained. He doesn't speak. Not since his parents died. Eleanor's chest tightened. This house held more pain than she understood. Come inside, Dante gestured. You need rest. She followed him. The same bedroom as before, but this time she didn't argue. Dante paused at the door. I'll be nearby. If you need anything, tell the guard outside. There's a guard. There's always a guard. He looked at her. His eyes found hers. You're under my protection now. That means you're safe, but it also means you can't leave. For how long? Until the threat is gone. He closed the door. Elena heard footsteps stop just outside. She walked to the window. Armed men patrolled the grounds. Cameras covered every angle. She was trapped, protected, imprisoned. She didn't know which word fit. Elena lay on the bed. Sleep wouldn't come. Every time she closed her eyes, she heard the gunshot, saw the broken door. Morning light crept through the curtains. Elena gave up on sleep. She dressed in yesterday's clothes. Her phone still had no signal. She opened the door. A guard stood there, young, nervous. I need to walk, Elena said. Inside only. I'll show you. He led her through the mansion. Hallways branched in every direction. rooms filled with furniture nobody used. It felt empty despite being enormous. They reached a large living room. Windows overlooked the gardens. Nico sat on the floor with colored pencils. He was drawing. Elena stopped. The guard nodded and stepped back. She walked closer. "Can I sit?" she asked. Nico looked up. He nodded slightly. Elena sat on the couch. She watched him draw. A house, trees, a small figure holding hands with a larger one. "That's beautiful," she said softly. Nico didn't respond. He kept drawing, but his shoulders relaxed. His lines became smoother. "I like to draw too." Elena leaned forward. "When I was your age, I drew my mum. She was sick. Drawing made me feel better." Nico's hand paused. He glanced at her, then back to his paper. "She died when I was 9. Elena's voice was quiet, but I still remember her smile. "I drew it over and over so I wouldn't forget." Nico set down his pencil. He pushed the drawing toward her. The small figure and large figure. Now she understood. It was him and someone else. "Your parents?" she asked. He nodded. Tears filled his eyes. Elena felt sad. She reached out slowly. Nico let her take his hand. "It's okay to miss them," she whispered. "It's okay to be scared." Nico squeezed her fingers. Then he pulled away and grabbed a new paper. He started drawing again, but something shifted in his expression. Less tense, less alone. Footsteps approached. Elena turned. Dante stood in the doorway. He stared at them. His face was unreadable. "Breakfast is ready." His voice was careful. "Both of you should eat." Nico gathered his drawings. He ran past Dante without looking. Elena stood. "He doesn't let people close," Dante said. "You're different." "I just listened." Elena walked toward him. "He needed someone to listen. His parents were killed in the same attack that took my wife. He saw it happen." Elena's breath caught. "I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. Just don't hurt him." Dante's voice was harder now. "He's suffered enough. I won't." Elena met his eyes. "I understand loss. I would never—" "Good." Dante stepped aside. "Come eat." The dining room was formal. A long table, crystal glasses. Nico sat at one end. A plate of eggs and fruit sat before him. Elena took a seat nearby. A maid brought her food. She was hungry. She'd barely eaten in 2 days. Dante sat across from her. He didn't eat. He just watched. His eyes found hers several times. "How long have you been taking care of him?" Elena asked. 2 years, since the attack. That's when your wife died?" "Yes." Dante's voice was flat. "And our daughter." Elena's chest tightened. "I'm sorry. That's not enough, but I am." "Why did you send that ultrasound to your ex?" Dante leaned forward. "The real reason." Elena set down her fork. "I wanted him to see what he was missing. I wanted him to feel guilty. Stupid, I know. Not stupid, human. He doesn't care. He made that clear when he left. Then he's a fool." Dante's voice was quiet. "That child is lucky to have you fighting for her." Elena felt tears coming. She looked down. "I don't know if I'm enough." "You are." Dante stood. "Rest today. Tomorrow we'll talk about next steps." He left. Nico watched Elena. He pushed a strawberry across the table toward her. A small gesture, but it meant everything. Elena smiled. "Thank you." Nico smiled back. Tiny, brief, but real. The day passed slowly. Elena explored the gardens. Guards followed at a distance. The grounds were beautiful. Flowers everywhere. Stone paths. A fountain in the center. She found Nico by the fountain. He was throwing coins in. Elena sat beside him. "Making wishes?" she asked. He nodded. He handed her a coin. Elena closed her eyes. She wished for safety, for her baby, for a way out of this mess. She threw the coin. It splashed. Nico threw his. They sat in silence. That night, Elena couldn't sleep again. She walked to her window. Dante stood on the terrace below. He was alone, staring at the ocean. His shoulders were tense. His hands gripped the railing. He looked broken, lost. Elena understood. He was protecting her because he couldn't protect them. His wife, his daughter, Nico's parents. She was a second chance he didn't ask for. A way to fix what couldn't be fixed. Morning came. Elena woke to find a tray by her door. Coffee, toast, fresh fruit, and something else. Her ultrasound photo, framed. Sitting carefully beside the tray, she picked it up. Her hands shook. Someone had taken her private moment and made it permanent, made it important. Elena's breath caught. She looked at the photo, her daughter's profile, the tiny fingers. A note lay underneath. "You made him smile yesterday. Thank you. DM." Elena pressed the frame to her chest. She was scared, confused, but something shifted. Maybe she wasn't just a prisoner. Maybe she was becoming part of something bigger, something that needed her as much as she needed it. Days passed in strange quiet. Elena ate meals with Nico. She walked the gardens. She avoided Dante. He was always working. Men came and went from his office. She heard raised voices, phones ringing, doors closing hard. She didn't ask questions. She didn't want to know, but curiosity grew. Who was this man? Why did people fear him? On the fourth day, Elena wandered deeper into the mansion. The halls were empty. Most doors were locked. One was open. She heard voices inside. Rocco's voice, then Dante's. "Marco De Luca knows," Rocco said. "His men spotted our activity at her building." "How much does he know?" Dante's voice was cold. "Enough. He knows she's here. He's asking questions." Elena felt nervous. She stepped closer to the door. Her breath caught. "Double the perimeter guards," Dante said. "No one gets near this property. He won't try anything direct, but he'll watch. Wait for an opening. Then we don't give him one. She doesn't leave. Neither does Nico." The silence stretched. Elena pressed against the wall, her chest tightened. "Why her?" Rocco asked quietly. "Why risk everything for a stranger?" "Because I failed before." Dante's voice broke slightly. "I won't fail again." Elena backed away. She returned to her room quickly. Her hands shook. She sat on the bed. Marco De Luca. A threat she didn't understand. A danger that existed because of her. Because of one stupid text message. That night, a storm rolled in. Rain hammered the windows. Thunder cracked overhead. Elena tried to sleep. The noise was too loud. She heard crying, faint. Coming from down the hall. Elena got up. She followed the sound. Nico's door was open. He sat on his bed. His hands covered his ears. He was rocking back and forth. "Nico." Elena entered slowly. "It's okay, it's just a storm." He didn't respond. He kept rocking. Tears ran down his face. Lightning flashed. He screamed silently. Elena sat beside him. She pulled him close. He fought at first, then collapsed against her. His body shook with sobs. "I've got you," she whispered. "You're safe, I promise." The storm raged. Elena held him. She hummed quietly, a song her mother used to sing. Slowly, Nico's breathing calmed. His grip on her shirt loosened. She looked up. Dante stood in the doorway. He stared at them. His face was frozen. His eyes were wet. Something shifted in his expression. Pain, memory, loss. He turned and walked away. His footsteps faded down the hall. Elena stayed with Nico until he fell asleep. She laid him down gently, covered him with blankets. Then she returned to her room. A note waited on her pillow. "You made him smile today." Elena pressed the note to her chest. She was exhausted, confused, but something was changing. In this house, in her heart. Morning brought sunshine. Elena found Dante in the kitchen. He was making coffee. He looked tired. "Thank you," he said without turning, "for last night." He needed someone. Elena poured herself water. "I understand storms. My mom used to hold me through them. Isabella did the same for me." Dante's voice was quiet. "The first time I met her, there was a storm. She found me in a bar, told me I looked lost." Elena felt surprised. "You don't seem like someone who gets lost. Everyone gets lost." He handed her a cup of coffee. "Some of us just hide it better." "Why are you telling me this?" Elena took the cup. "You barely speak to me. Because you're here. Because you helped Nico. Because I owe you honesty." The silence hung between them. Dante's eyes found hers. Something passed between them. Understanding, recognition. Two people broken in different ways. "Have dinner with me," he said suddenly. "Tonight, just us." "Why?" Elena asked. "Because I want to thank you properly, and because I've eaten alone for too long." Elena felt nervous, but she nodded. "Okay." Dante smiled, small, brief, but real. Then he left. Elena stood alone in the kitchen. Her heart beat faster than it should. That evening, Elena wore the only nice dress she owned. Simple, blue. It barely fit over her belly. She felt self-conscious. The dining room was set for two, candles lit. Music played softly. Dante stood by the window. He wore a dark shirt, no tie. He looked different, less formal, more human. "You came." He pulled out her chair. "You asked." Elena sat. "I couldn't say no." "You could have." Dante sat across from her. "You can always say no to me." Dinner arrived. Simple food, pasta, salad, wine for him, water for her. They ate in awkward silence. "How did you lose your mother?" Dante asked finally. Cancer. I was 9. She fought for 3 years. Elena set down her fork. I watched her disappear slowly. The person she was just faded. That's hard for a child. It made me understand that nothing lasts. Good things end. People leave, even when they don't want to. Dante's eyes found hers. Is that why you sent the ultrasound? Because you thought he deserved one last chance? Maybe. Or maybe I just wanted him to see what he threw away. He threw away everything. Dante's voice was firm. That child deserves better. I'm trying to be better. I just don't know if I'm enough. You are. Dante leaned forward. You're scared. That means you care. That means you'll fight for her. Elena felt tears coming. I'm terrified. I work at a diner. I can barely pay rent. How do I raise a child? You don't have to do it alone. The words hung in the air. Elena's breath caught. She didn't know what he meant. Didn't know if she wanted to know. Nico appeared in the doorway. He ran to Elena, climbed into her lap. Dante watched them. His expression softened. Someone couldn't sleep. Elena hugged Nico. Did you have a bad dream? Nico nodded. He buried his face in her shoulder. Elena rubbed his back. She looked at Dante. He was staring at them. His jaw was tight. Take him up, Dante said quietly. I'll clean up. Elena carried Nico upstairs. She tucked him in, sat beside him until he slept. When she came back down, Dante was gone. The dining room was empty. The candles were out. She felt disappointed, confused. The moment had been broken. She didn't know if it would come again. The next morning, Elena walked the gardens. The air was cool. Flowers bloomed everywhere. She found a stone bench near the wall. Dante appeared on the path. He wore casual clothes, jeans, a white shirt. His sleeves were rolled up. Elena saw scars on his wrists, burns, old and deep. Can I sit? He asked. It's your garden. Elena moved over. Dante sat. They watched the ocean in silence. Waves crashed against the rocks below. Seabirds called overhead. Those scars, Elena said softly. What happened? Dante's jaw tightened. Gunpowder burns. From the night Isabella died. You tried to save her. I tried. I failed. His voice was hard. I was holding her when the car exploded. I smelled her hair burning, felt her stop breathing, but I couldn't let go. Elena's chest tightened. I'm sorry. Everyone's sorry. It doesn't bring her back. Dante stood. I shouldn't have told you that. He walked away quickly. Elena watched him go. She wanted to follow, to say something. But what? Words couldn't fix that kind of pain. That night, she saw him on the balcony outside her window. He stood in the dark, staring at nothing. His hands gripped the railing. His shoulders shook. Elena felt sad. She pressed her hand to the glass. He didn't see her. He was too lost in his own grief. The next day, Rocco found her in the library. His face was serious. We have a problem. What kind of problem? Elena set down her book. Marco De Luca's men have been spotted near the coast. They're watching the estate, waiting for something. Elena felt scared. Waiting for what? An opening, a mistake. Rocco sat down. The boss is ordering a lockdown. No one leaves, not even for supplies. For how long? As long as it takes. Elena stood. I can't be locked in here forever. I have a life, work, bills. You have your life because you're here. Out there, you're a target. This is insane, Elena paced. I didn't ask for this. I don't want to be protected. I just want to go home. Rocco's voice was gentle. You can't go home. Not yet. Elena found Dante in his office. She didn't knock. She burst through the door. He looked up from his desk, surprised. You can't keep me here forever. Elena's voice shook. This isn't protection, it's prison. It's survival. Dante stood. Marco De Luca doesn't care about you. He cares about hurting me, and you're the easiest way to do that. Then stop caring about me, let me go. I can't. Dante moved around the desk. You don't understand this world. You don't understand what men like him do. Then explain it to me. Elena stepped closer. Stop treating me like a child. Tell me the truth. Dante's eyes found hers. His voice was harsh. You think you know danger? You think one broken door taught you? I buried my wife and child. I held my nephew while he watched his parents burn. I know what these men do. They don't just kill. They destroy everything you love first. They make you watch. Then they kill you slowly. Elena's breath caught. She saw his pain, raw, bleeding through his control. Your grief doesn't make you my keeper. Her voice was softer now. I'm grateful, but I'm not her. I can't fix what you lost. I know that. Dante's voice broke. But I can't lose someone again. Not when I can stop it. The silence stretched. Elena felt tears on her cheeks. She didn't know when she'd started crying. I need air. She turned and left. Dante didn't follow. Elena found Rocco in the hallway. Tell me about Isabella, about what happened. Rocco looked uncomfortable. That's not my story to tell. Please, I need to understand him. I need to know why he's doing this. Rocco sighed. He led her to a quiet room. They sat. He was quiet for a long moment. 5 years ago, Dante was negotiating peace with the De Luca family. Marco's father ran things then. They agreed to meet, neutral ground, bring families to show good faith. What happened? Elena asked. It was a trap. Marco's father wanted Dante dead, but Dante was late. Isabella and her sister arrived first. The bomb went off early. Rocco's voice was heavy. Isabella died instantly. Her sister lived long enough to see it. She was Nico's mother. Elena's chest tightened, and Dante blamed himself. He blames himself for everything, for being late, for suggesting they come, for not dying instead. Rocco met her eyes. Isabella was 3 months pregnant. A girl. He'd already picked a name. Sophia, Elena whispered. She remembered the name from somewhere. A document she'd seen. A file. Yes, he doesn't talk about her, about either of them, but he visits a chapel every week, talks to them, asks forgiveness for failing. Elena felt tears coming. Where's the chapel? In the West Wing, but he goes alone. He doesn't want company. I'm going anyway. Elena stood. Tell me where. Rocco gave her directions. Elena walked through the mansion. The West Wing was older, quieter. She found a small chapel at the end of a hallway. The door was open. Dante knelt before an altar. 2 photos sat above it. A beautiful woman with dark hair. Beside her, an ultrasound image. Elena entered quietly. Dante didn't turn. He was speaking. Low, broken. I'm sorry, he whispered. I'm sorry I was late. I'm sorry I failed you, both of you. I'm sorry I couldn't save them, couldn't save her sister, couldn't stop Nico from seeing it. Elena's breath caught. She walked forward, sat in a pew behind him. He turned. His face was wet with tears. You shouldn't be here. His voice was rough. I know what happened, Elena said quietly. Rocco told me about the trap, about Isabella and Sophia. Dante's jaw tightened. Then you know why I can't let you leave, why I won't risk it again. Your grief doesn't make you unworthy of peace. Elena met his eyes. You didn't fail them. You were tricked, used. That's not the same as failing. It feels the same. Dante turned back to the altar. Every day it feels the same. Elena stood. She moved beside him, looked at Isabella's photo. She was beautiful, smiling, alive. She wouldn't want you to live like this, Elena said. Locked in guilt, punishing yourself by protecting strangers. You're not a stranger anymore. Dante looked at her. You're part of this now, part of us. Something shifted in his expression. Elena saw it. Need, longing, the desire to connect with someone who understood loss. She reached out slowly. Her hand touched his. He didn't pull away. His fingers curled around hers. They sat in silence. 2 broken people holding on. A week passed. The lockdown continued. Elena spent time with Nico. They drew together, read books. She taught him simple card games. He smiled more, laughed sometimes. Silent, but present. Dante watched from doorways. He never joined, just observed. His eyes found hers across rooms. Held too long, then looked away. One afternoon, a package arrived. Rocco brought it to Dante. Elena saw his face go white. His hands shook as he opened it. Photos spilled out. Elena at the diner. Elena walking to her car. Elena at her apartment window. All recent. All from before she came here. He had her marked from the beginning, Rocco said quietly. He knew before we did. Dante's voice was cold. Get Nico. Pack essentials. We're moving to the safe house. Sir? Rocco looked surprised. They know too much about this place. The schedules, the routes, we move now. Elena felt scared. Where are we going? Somewhere Marco doesn't know about. Dante finally looked at her. Somewhere we can keep you safe until I handle this. An hour later, they left. Dante drove. Elena sat in back with Nico. 3 cars followed, armed men in each. They drove north, away from the city, into smaller towns, then into wilderness. The road narrowed, trees closed in. The safe house sat on a cliff, small, modern, glass walls facing the ocean, isolated. No one knows about this place, Dante said as they entered. Not even most of my men. The house was sparse. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a main room with a kitchen. Everything clean but empty. We stay here until Marco makes his move. Dante set down their bags. Then I end this. Elena put Nico to bed. He clung to her. She stayed until he slept. When she came out, Dante stood by the windows, staring at the dark ocean. "What's your plan?" Elena asked. "To keep you alive." His voice was tired. "That's all that matters." "And after? What happens when this is over?" "I don't know." Dante turned. His eyes found hers. "I haven't thought past keeping you safe." Elena moved closer. "You can't protect me forever. Eventually I have to live my own life." "I know." His voice was quiet. "But not yet. Not while he's hunting you." Morning came. Dante made breakfast. Nico ate quietly. Elena watched the ocean. Everything felt temporary, fragile. They just finished eating when glass exploded. A window shattered. Elena screamed. Dante tackled her to the floor. His body covered hers. "Stay down!" he shouted. Blood ran down his arm. He'd been hit. More shots. Rocco appeared from another room. He returned fire. Men shouted outside. Car engines roared. Dante pulled Elena toward the back door. "Run! Now! You're bleeding!" Elena pressed her hand to his arm. "I'm fine. Move!" He grabbed Nico. They ran to a car hidden behind the house. Dante threw open the door, shoved them inside. He drove before his door was fully closed. Bullets hit the back window. Cracks spread across the glass. Elena held Nico. Her hands shook. Her breath came too fast. Dante's arm bled onto the steering wheel, but he didn't slow down. They drove for an hour, back toward the city, toward the mansion. Elena pressed a towel to Dante's wound. The bleeding slowed. His face was pale. "You need a doctor," Elena said. "We need safety first." Dante's voice was tight. "Doctor can wait." They reached the mansion. Guards swarmed the car. Dante stumbled getting out. Rocco caught him. The doctor appeared. They disappeared inside. Elena took Nico to his room. He was shaking. She held him, rocked him, hummed the song her mother taught her. Hours passed. The doctor finally emerged. "He'll be fine. The bullet grazed him. He needs rest." Elena went to Dante's room. He lay in bed. Bandages covered his arm. He looked exhausted. "You should sleep," she said from the doorway. "So should you." Dante's voice was rough. Elena entered. She sat in a chair by his bed. "I don't want to go back to my old life." Dante's eyes found hers. "What?" "Out there. Alone. Scared. Working myself to death. I don't want that anymore." "What do you want?" he asked quietly. "I don't know." Elena's voice shook. "But I know I feel safer here. With you. With Nico. That scares me more than anything." Dante reached out. His hand found hers. His fingers were warm, strong. "Then don't go back." The silence stretched. Elena's breath caught. Her heart beat too fast. She looked at their hands, connected, holding on. "What are we doing?" she whispered. "Surviving." Dante's voice was quiet. "Together." Elena stayed until he fell asleep. She watched his chest rise and fall, watched his face relax. For the first time, he looked peaceful. She returned to her room, lay in bed, stared at the ceiling. Everything had changed. She'd come here a prisoner. Now she didn't want to leave. Tomorrow would bring more danger, more threats. But tonight, she felt something shift, something warm, something that felt almost hope. Her phone buzzed. "Unknown number," she answered. "Elena," a man's voice. Cold, amused. "We haven't met. I'm Marco De Luca, and you're going to help me kill Dante Morelli." Elena's breath caught. The phone felt cold against her ear. "What do you want?" "You already know." Marco's voice was smooth. "Dante Morelli has taken something from me. Now I take something from him. I'm nobody to him." Elena's hands shook. "Just someone he's protecting. You're more than that. I've watched you. I've seen how he looks at you, how he bleeds for you." Marco laughed quietly. "That makes you valuable. I won't help you." Elena stood. "Whatever you're planning, I won't do it. You don't have a choice. I know about the baby, about Nico, about every person in that house you care about." The silence stretched. "Tomorrow you'll do exactly what I say, or they all die." The line went dead. Elena dropped the phone. Her chest tightened. She felt sick. She ran to Dante's room. He was asleep. She shook him awake. "Dante, wake up." His eyes opened, alert immediately. "What's wrong?" "Marco called me. He wants me to help him kill you. He threatened Nico, the baby, everyone." Dante sat up fast. He winced. His wounded arm moved wrong. "What did you tell him?" "Nothing." He hung up. Elena's voice shook. What do we do? We locked down. Again. Harder this time. Dante grabbed his phone. He called Rocco. Get everyone awake. Full security protocol. Now. Within minutes, the mansion came alive. Guards positioned at every entrance. Cameras checked. Weapons distributed. Nico was moved to an interior room with no windows. Elena sat in Dante's office. She was terrified. Rocco stood by the door. Dante paced. His jaw was tight. How did he get her number? Rocco asked. He's had it since the beginning. Dante stopped pacing. His eyes found Elena's. He's been watching, planning, waiting for the right moment. What moment? Elena asked. The moment I care enough to make a mistake. Dante's voice was hard. And I do. He knows it. Then send me away. Elena stood. Hide me somewhere else. Keep Nico safe. He'll follow you. Dante moved closer. Wherever you go, he'll find you. The only safe place is here. With me. Elena felt frustrated. Then what? We just wait for him to attack? No. Dante's voice was cold. We draw him out. Make him come to us. On our terms. Rocco looked worried. That's dangerous. We don't know his full strength. I don't care. Dante turned to him. Set a trap. Use me as bait. But Elena and Nico stay protected. That's non-negotiable. Sir, Rocco started. Do it. Dante's voice was final. I want this finished. The next day passed in tense preparation. Men came and went. Plans were made. Elena wasn't included. She stayed with Nico. They drew pictures, played quiet games, tried to pretend everything was normal. That afternoon, Elena found Dante in the garden. He stood by the fountain. His face was tired. You look exhausted, she said. I haven't slept. Dante didn't turn. Every time I close my eyes, I see you. Hurt. Gone. It's the same nightmare as before. I'm not her. Elena moved beside him. I'm here. I'm alive. For now. His voice was quiet. But Marco won't stop. Not until he's made his point. Elena felt sad. What point? That I'm weak. That I care about something other than power. That love makes you vulnerable. Dante finally looked at her. His eyes found hers. He's right. I am weak. Because I can't lose you. Elena's breath caught. Dante, don't. He stepped back. Don't say anything. Just stay safe. That's all I need. He walked away. Elena watched him go. Her chest tightened. Something shifted inside her. Understanding. Recognition. She was falling for. Despite everything, despite the danger, despite knowing it was impossible. That night, Elena couldn't sleep. She walked through the quiet halls. Guards nodded as she passed. She found the chapel, sat in the same pew as before. Isabella's photo stared down at her, beautiful, smiling. The woman Dante loved, the woman he still grieved. I don't want to replace you, Elena whispered. I just want to help him, help Nico, help myself. Footsteps approached. Dante appeared in the doorway. He looked surprised. You're here. I couldn't sleep. Elena gestured to the pew. Can I stay? It's not my chapel to forbid. Dante entered. He sat beside her, close. Their shoulders almost touched. Do you come here every night? Elena asked. Most nights. It's the only place I feel honest. His voice was quiet. Out there, I'm the boss, the killer, the monster. In here, I'm just a man who failed. You didn't fail. Elena turned to him. You were betrayed. That's different, is it? Dante looked at Isabella's photo. She trusted me to keep her safe. I didn't. That's failure. Then I'm failing too. Elena's voice shook. My baby's father left. I sent the wrong text. I got pulled into your world. I'm putting my child in danger just by existing. No. Dante's voice was firm. His eyes found hers. You're fighting for her. Every day. That's not failure. That's love. The silence hung between them. Elena felt tears coming. Dante reached out. His hand touched her face, wiped her tears. His touch was gentle, careful. I don't know what I'm doing, Elena whispered. With you, with this. I'm scared. So am I. Dante's voice was rough. I haven't felt anything in 5 years. Now I feel everything, and it terrifies me. Elena leaned into his touch. His hand cupped her cheek. His thumb moved across her skin. She closed her eyes. Her heart beat too fast. Elena, Dante's voice was barely there. If something happens, don't. She opened her eyes. Don't say goodbye, not yet. They sat in silence. His hand still on her face, her hand covering his. Two people holding on to something fragile, something neither understood, but both needed. Morning came too soon. Rocco woke them with news. Marco's men are moving, they're heading toward the city, away from us. It's a distraction. Dante stood. He wants us to think he's retreating, but he's planning something else. What? Elena felt scared. I don't know. But we stay alert. Dante looked at Rocco. Double the guards on Nico. Don't let him out of sight. The day dragged. Elena stayed close to Nico. They had lunch in his room. She read him stories. He smiled, drew pictures, seemed happy despite the tension. At 3 o'clock, Nico asked to go to the park, the small private park inside the estate walls. He pulled on Elena's hand, looked at her with pleading eyes. Please? Elena asked the guard. Just for an hour, inside the walls. I'll stay with him. The guard hesitated, then nodded. I'll come with you and 2 others. They walked to the park. Nico ran to the swings. Elena pushed him. His silent laughter made her smile. The guards watched from different positions. Everything felt safe. Elena sat on a bench. Nico played in the sandbox. She closed her eyes for just a moment. The sun was warm. The breeze was gentle. A car engine roared. Elena's eyes snapped open. A black van crashed through the garden gate. Men poured out, guns raised. Nico! Elena screamed. She ran toward him. Gunfire erupted. The guards fell. Elena reached Nico, grabbed him. A man caught her arm, twisted it behind her back. Let him go! Elena kicked, fought. Take me! Leave him alone! Marco wants the boy. The man's voice was flat. You're just a bonus. They threw Nico in the van. He was screaming silently, his mouth open, no sound coming out. Elena fought harder. Another man hit her. She fell. Her head cracked against concrete. The van sped away. Elena tried to stand. Blood ran down her face. She stumbled toward the house. Guards rushed out. Too late. Dante appeared. He saw her face. The blood. The empty park. Something shifted in his expression. Pure rage. Where is he? His voice was deadly. They took him. Elena collapsed. I tried. I couldn't stop them. Dante caught her, held her. His whole body shook. This isn't your fault. I let him go to the park. I stopped watching for 1 second. Elena was sobbing. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Get the doctor, Dante shouted. And get my car ready. Full team. Weapons. Now. Rocco appeared. Sir, we don't know where they went. I know exactly where they went. Dante's voice was cold. Marco's compound, the same place he killed Isabella. He wants me to come. So I'm coming. Elena grabbed his arm. Don't go alone, please. He'll kill you. I don't care. Dante pulled away. Nico is all I have left of my family. I'm not losing him too. You have me. Elena stood. Her voice was strong. You have me. And I can't lose you either. Dante stopped. He turned. His eyes found hers. Something shifted in his expression. Need, fear, love. Stay here, he said quietly. Keep yourself safe. For the baby. For me. He left. Elena watched him go. Men followed. Cars roared away. She stood alone in the ruined garden, blood dripping from her head. Nico's drawings scattered in the sandbox. The doctor came, bandaged her, said she'd be fine. Elena didn't feel fine. She felt broken, guilty, terrified. Hours passed. No word, no updates. Elena paced, prayed, waited. Rocco stayed behind. He watched her. Finally he said, You should sit, rest. The stress isn't good for the baby. I can't rest. Elena's voice shook. Not while they're out there. Not while Nico is with that monster. The boss will bring him home. He always finishes what he starts. What if he doesn't? Elena turned to him. What if Marco kills them both? What if I never see them again? Then we survive. Rocco's voice was gentle. Because that's what the boss would want. For you to survive. To protect that baby, to keep living. Elena felt tears coming. She pressed her hands to her belly. The baby kicked. Strong. Alive. A reminder of everything at stake. Her phone rang. Unknown number. She answered. Hello? Elena. It was Dante. His voice was rough, tired. We have him. Nico's safe. Elena's breath caught. Are you okay? I'm fine. We're coming home. Stay inside. Lock the doors. What happened? Is he hurt? Are you... We'll talk when I get there. I promise. Just stay safe. The line went dead. Elena collapsed on the couch. Relief flooded through her. She cried. Hard. Loud. All the fear pouring out. 2 hours later, cars pulled up. Elena ran outside. Dante climbed out. Blood covered his shirt. His knuckles were torn. But he was alive. Nico was in his arms, wrapped in a blanket, shaking but breathing. Dante carried him inside, set him gently on the couch. Elena fell to her knees, held Nico. He clung to her. His whole body trembled. "You're safe. I've got you. I'm so sorry." Nico buried his face in her shoulder. Tears soaked her shirt. She rocked him, whispered comfort, promised safety. Dante watched from across the room. His face was empty, exhausted, broken. Elena looked up at him. Her eyes found his. She whispered. He nodded, then turned and left. Elena heard his office door close, heard something crash inside, the sound of a man falling apart. She stayed with Nico until he fell asleep. Then she went to Dante's office. The door was locked. She knocked. "Dante, let me in. Go away." His voice was rough. "No." Elena knocked harder. "Open the door, please." Silence. Then the lock clicked. The door opened. Dante stood there, blood on his hands. His face, his shirt, his eyes were red. "I killed him." Dante's voice shook. "I looked Marco in the eyes and I killed him. And I didn't hesitate. I didn't feel guilty. I felt relief." "Good." Elena stepped inside. "He deserved it. For what he did. For what he tried to do. I'm a monster." Dante backed away. "You should leave. Take Nico. Go somewhere safe. Away from me." "I'm not leaving." Elena moved closer. "And you're not a monster. You're a man who protects what he loves. I don't deserve to love anything." Dante's voice broke. "Everyone I love dies. I'm not dead." Elena reached for his hands. "Neither is Nico. Neither is my baby. We're all here because of you." She pulled him to the bathroom, turned on the water, started washing his hands. The blood ran pink, then clear. She was gentle, careful. Dante watched her. His jaw was tight. His eyes were wet. "Why are you doing this?" "Because you protect with your hands." Elena cleaned the cuts on his knuckles. "Let me protect with mine." Something shifted in his expression. The walls came down. He pulled her close, held her, his face buried in her hair. His whole body shook. "I can't lose you," he whispered. "I can't survive it again." "Then don't lose me." Elena held him tight. "Fight for us, not against us." They stood together, two broken people holding on. The water ran in the sink. The house was quiet. Outside, dawn was breaking. Dante finally pulled back. He looked at her, really looked. His hand touched her face, gentle, trembling. "I don't know how to do this." His voice was quiet. "How to let someone in, how to trust that they'll stay. Neither do I." Elena's voice shook. "But we figure it out, together." The next morning, Elena woke to sharp pain. She gasped. Her stomach cramped, hard, wrong. She tried to stand, couldn't. The pain came again, worse. She cried out. Dante burst through her door. "What's wrong?" "The baby." Elena's voice was panicked. "Something's wrong." Dante lifted her, carried her to his car, drove fast, too fast. Every bump made her scream. He held her hand. His face was white. "Stay with me," he said over and over. "Stay with me, please." They reached the hospital. Nurses rushed out. A wheelchair. Questions. Elena couldn't answer. The pain was too much. They took her away. Dante tried to follow. A nurse stopped him. "Family only." "I'm her family." Dante's voice was desperate. "Please, don't make me wait out here." The nurse looked at Elena. Elena nodded. "He stays with me." They let him through. Elena was put in a bed, monitors attached. The doctor came, asked questions, examined her. "Stress-induced contractions," the doctor said finally. "The baby's fine, but you need to rest. No stress, no excitement. Bed rest for at least a week." Elena felt tears of relief. "She's okay? She's fine. Strong heartbeat, active, but you need to take care of yourself." The doctor looked at Dante. "Keep her calm. Keep her safe." "I will." Dante's voice was firm. "I promise." They kept her overnight for observation. Dante stayed in the chair beside her bed. He didn't sleep, just watched her, held her hand. "You should rest," Elena said quietly. "I can't." Dante's eyes found hers. "Every time I close my eyes, I see you in pain. I hear you screaming. I feel helpless again. I'm okay. The baby's okay. We're both fine. Because we got lucky." Dante leaned forward. "What if we weren't lucky? What if I lost you both? But you didn't." Elena squeezed his hand. "We're here. We're safe. For now." Dante's voice was rough. "But what about tomorrow? What about next week? How do I keep you safe from everything?" "You can't," Elena said softly. "That's not how life works. Bad things happen. People get hurt. But we survive. Together." Dante was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "I can't lose another child. I buried Sophia before she was born. I held Isabella while our daughter died inside her. I can't do that again. Elena felt tears coming. You won't, I promise. You can't promise that. Then I promise to fight. Elena's voice was strong. I promise to fight for her, for us, for every day we get. That's all anyone can do. Dante's hand tightened on hers. His eyes were wet. He brought her hand to his lips, kissed her knuckles gently. I don't deserve you. Probably not. Elena smiled slightly. But you're stuck with me anyway. The night passed slowly. Morning came. The doctor released her. Dante drove her home carefully. Every bump made him flinch. At the mansion, he carried her upstairs, put her in his bed. Not the guest room, his room. You're staying here, he said, where I can watch you. Make sure you rest. I can't take your bed, Elena protested. You can. You will. Dante pulled a chair close. I'll be right here. If you need anything, just ask. Elena felt exhausted. The medicine made her drowsy. She closed her eyes. Sleep came fast. When she woke, the room was dark. Dante sat in the chair, asleep, his head tilted back. His hand still held hers. Elena watched him. His face was peaceful. The harsh lines softened. He looked younger, more human, more real. She realized something. She loved him, despite everything, despite the danger. Despite knowing it was complicated and impossible and probably stupid, she loved him, and that terrified her more than anything Marco had done. Helena woke to sunlight. Dante still sat in the chair. His eyes were open now, watching her. How long have you been awake? She asked. A few hours. His voice was quiet. I wanted to make sure you were okay. I'm fine. You should sleep in your own bed. You're in my bed. Dante smiled slightly. I'm fine in the chair. Elena felt embarrassed. I can move to the guest room. No. Dante's voice was firm. You stay here, where I know you're safe. The days that followed were strange, quiet, almost domestic. Elena rested. Dante worked from his room, brought her meals, read beside her. They didn't talk much, just existed together. Nico visited every afternoon. He drew pictures, showed them to Elena. She praised each one. His smiles came easier now. The fear was fading. One evening, Dante brought dinner on a tray. Pasta, salad, fresh bread. He sat on the edge of the bed. You don't have to wait on me, Elena said. I can get up now. The doctor said light activity is fine. I know. Dante handed her a plate. But I want to. It makes me feel useful. They ate in comfortable silence. Elena watched him. His face was less tense, the hard edges softer. He looked almost peaceful. What happens now? She asked finally. What do you mean? Dante set down his fork. Marco's dead. The threat is gone. I can leave if I want. Dante's jaw tightened. Do you want to leave? Elena felt nervous. I don't know. I don't know what I want anymore. Stay. Dante's voice was quiet. Not because you're in danger. Not because I'm protecting you. Stay because you want to. Why would I want to? Elena met his eyes. What am I staying for? For Nico. He needs you. He's happier when you're here. Dante paused. His eyes found hers. And for me, because I need you too. Elena's breath caught. Dante, I know it's selfish. He stood, paced. I know you have your own life, your own plans, but I can't imagine this house without you anymore. I can't imagine waking up and not knowing you're here. That's not love. Elena's voice shook. That's dependence, need. It's not healthy. I know. Dante stopped, looked at her. Something shifted in his expression. But it's the closest I've felt to alive in 5 years, and I'm terrified of losing it. Elena felt tears coming. I'm terrified too, of staying, of leaving, of feeling things I shouldn't feel for a man I barely know. Then get to know me. Dante moved closer, sat on the bed. Ask me anything, I'll tell you the truth. Why do you do this? Elena gestured around, the violence, the power. Why not just leave? Because it's all I know. My father ran this operation, his father before him. I was raised to take over, to protect the family business. Dante's voice was heavy. And because people depend on me, families, workers, people who would have nothing without this structure. Do you enjoy it? Elena asked. No. Dante's answer was immediate. I hate it. The blood, the decisions, the weight of it all, but I'm good at it, and someone has to do it. You could stop, walk away, start over somewhere new. Could I? Dante looked at his hands. These hands have killed, have hurt people. Could I really walk away and pretend to be normal? My mother used to say everyone deserves a second chance. Elena reached for his hand. Even people who think they don't. Dante's fingers curled around hers. What if I don't deserve it? Then take it anyway. Elena's voice was firm. Take it for Nico, for the baby, for yourself. They sat in silence, hands connected. Two people trying to figure out what came next. The baby kicked, hard. Elena gasped. What's wrong? Dante looked alarmed. Nothing. She's just moving. Elena smiled. She placed his hand on her belly. Feel. The baby kicked again. Dante's eyes went wide. His hand pressed gently, feeling the life beneath. His face transformed. Wonder, joy, pain. Sophia used to kick at night. His voice was rough. Isabella would wake me up, make me feel. We'd lie there for hours, just feeling her move. Elena's chest tightened. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. No. Dante looked at her. His eyes were wet. Thank you for letting me feel this again, for reminding me that life continues, even after loss. Something shifted between them. The air grew thick. Dante's hand was still on her belly. His eyes found hers. Held. Elena. His voice was barely there. I need to tell you something. What? She whispered. I'm falling for you. I've been fighting it, telling myself it's wrong, that it's too soon, that I don't deserve it, but I can't fight anymore. Elena felt scared, excited, terrified. Dante, you don't have to say anything. He pulled his hand away. I just needed you to know, before you decide to leave, before I lose the courage. He stood, walked to the door. Elena's mind raced. Her heart beat too fast. She wanted to call him back, wanted to tell him she felt the same, but fear kept her silent. The door closed. Elena lay back, pressed her hands to her face. She was falling too, had been falling since the chapel, since he'd held her through her fear, since he'd fought for Nico. But was that enough? Could love grow in violence? Could happiness bloom in blood-soaked soil? The next morning, Elena got up. She was tired of bed rest, tired of being helpless. She found Nico in the living room. He was building a tower with blocks. Can I help? Elena sat beside him. Nico nodded. He handed her blocks. They built together. The tower grew tall, unstable. Finally it crashed. Nico laughed, silent but real. Dante appeared in the doorway. He watched them. His face was soft. Elena looked up. Their eyes met. Something passed between them. Breakfast is ready, Dante said quietly. Both of you should eat. They ate together. Nico, Elena, Dante, almost like a family, almost normal, if you ignored the guards, the weapons, the blood still staining Dante's soul. After breakfast, Elena helped Nico with his lessons. Reading, math, simple science. He was smart, quick to learn. He smiled when he got things right. You're good with him, Dante said from the doorway. Elena jumped. She hadn't heard him come in. He's easy to teach. He wants to learn. He wants to please you. Dante entered, sat across from them. You make him feel safe. That's rare. He makes me feel needed. Elena looked at Nico. That's rare too. They spent the afternoon together, all three, walking the gardens, playing simple games, eating lunch on the terrace. The sun was warm. The breeze was gentle. Everything felt fragile, temporary, but also real. That evening, Dante asked Elena to join him in his study. She followed nervously. The room was dark, leather chairs, heavy desk, windows overlooking the ocean. Sit, Dante gestured to a chair. Please. Elena sat. Her hands shook. Dante poured 2 glasses of water, handed her one, sat across from her. I've been thinking, his voice was careful, about what you said, about second chances, about starting over. And, Elena asked, I want to try. Not now, not immediately, but eventually. Dante leaned forward. I want to step back, let Rocco take over, focus on Nico, on building something good instead of protecting something violent. Elena felt surprised. Really? Yes. Dante's eyes found hers. But I need to know you'll be here. That this isn't just me fantasizing about a life I can't have. I don't know what I can promise. Elena's voice shook. I'm scared. Of this. Of you. Of what staying means. I understand. Dante stood, walked to the window. But I'm asking anyway. Stay. Not as a guest. Not as someone I'm protecting. Stay as family. Elena's breath caught. Family. You. The baby. Nico. Me. Dante turned. His voice was rough. We're all broken. All lost. But maybe together we're less alone. Elena stood, walked to him. Her hands were shaking, her heart beat too fast. I need time to think, to figure out what I want. Take all the time you need. Dante's voice was quiet. I'm not going anywhere. But 3 days later, everything changed. Elena woke to wetness. She sat up fast. Her water had broken. Panic rose in her throat. Dante, she called. Dante, it's happening. He burst through the door, hair messy, shirt unbuttoned. What's wrong? The baby. She's coming. Now. Dante moved fast, grabbed her bag, helped her down the stairs. His hands shook. His face was pale. It's too early. You're only 7 months. I know. Elena felt scared. But she's coming anyway. The drive to the hospital was a blur. Elena counted contractions, breathed through pain. Dante held her hand. His grip was tight, desperate. At the hospital, nurses rushed her inside. Doctors came, examined her, spoke in quick medical terms Elena couldn't understand. The baby's in distress, a doctor said. We need to do an emergency C-section. Is she going to be okay? Elena was crying. Please tell me she'll be okay. We'll do everything we can. The doctor looked at Dante. Are you the father? Dante hesitated. Elena grabbed his hand. Yes, he is. Something shifted in his expression. Surprise, gratitude, love. Yes, I'm the father. They prepped her for surgery. Dante stayed by her head, held her hand, whispered comfort. You're strong. You can do this. I'm right here. I'm scared. Elena's voice shook. What if something goes wrong? Then we fight. Dante's eyes found hers. Together, like always. The surgery began. Elena felt pressure, pulling, strange sensations. Then a cry. Small, weak, but alive. It's a girl, the doctor announced. Small but breathing on her own. They showed her briefly. Tiny, red, perfect. Then took her away. To be checked, to be monitored. Elena felt empty, scared. Where are they taking her? She asked. To the NICU, a nurse said gently. She's premature. She needs special care, but she's strong, fighting. They stitched Elena up, moved her to recovery. Dante never left. He sat beside her bed, held her hand. His face was exhausted. You called me the father, he said quietly. I know. Elena was tired. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. Dante's voice was rough. I want to be, if you'll let me. Elena felt tears coming. She doesn't have anyone else. Her biological father doesn't care, doesn't want her. Then I'll want her. Dante leaned forward. His eyes found hers. I'll love her, protect her, raise her as mine if you'll let me. Why? Elena whispered. Why would you do that? Because I love you. Dante's voice broke. I've loved you since the chapel. Since you told me my grief didn't make me unworthy. Since you held Nico through his nightmares. Since you fought for your daughter even when you were terrified. Elena's breath caught. Dante, I know it's too soon. I know I'm broken. I know I don't deserve you. But I love you anyway. And I'll love your daughter too because she's part of you. And you're everything. Elena pulled him close, kissed him, finally, desperately. His lips were warm, gentle. The kiss was soft at first, then deeper. 5 years of grief meeting new hope. 2 broken souls finding home. They pulled apart, both breathing hard. Dante touched her face. Tell me you feel it too. I do. Elena's voice shook. I'm terrified, but I love you too. Dante kissed her again, slower this time. His hand cupped her face. Her fingers gripped his shirt. The world narrowed to just them, just this moment. A nurse knocked. You can see the baby now, if you're ready. They followed her to the NICU. Tiny babies in plastic boxes, machines beeping, monitors flashing. The nurse stopped at one incubator. Inside lay Elena's daughter, so small, tubes and wires everywhere, but alive, breathing, fighting. She's beautiful, Dante whispered. Elena felt tears streaming. She's so tiny. She's a fighter, the nurse smiled. Just 3 pounds, but her vitals are good. She's doing better than expected. Can I hold her? Elena asked. Not yet, but you can touch her. Talk to her. Let her know you're here. Elena reached through the port, touched her daughter's tiny hand. The baby's fingers curled around hers. So small, so perfect. Hi, baby, Elena whispered. I'm your mama, and this is Dante. He's going to help me take care of you. You're safe now. So loved, so wanted. Dante touched the baby's other hand. His face was wet with tears. Hi, little one. I'm going to protect you, love you, watch you grow. I promise. They stayed for hours, just watching, touching, whispering promises. Finally, a nurse made them leave. She needs rest, you both do. Come back tomorrow. The drive home was quiet. Dante held Elena's hand. She was exhausted, scared, but also hopeful. At the mansion, Nico waited. Rocco had told him. He ran to Elena, hugged her carefully, looked up with questions in his eyes. "She's okay," Elena said. "Tiny, but strong. You can meet her soon." Nico smiled, drew a picture. A baby with a big sister, himself holding her. A family. Elena felt something shift. This was her family now. Dante, Nico, her daughter, all broken pieces fitting together. That night, Dante carried her to bed, his bed, where she belonged now. He lay beside her, held her close. She felt safe, loved, home. "What should we name her?" Dante asked. Elena thought, "Grace. For the grace that brought us together. For the second chances we've both been given." "Grace," Dante repeated. His voice was soft. "Grace Isabella Morelli, if that's okay." Elena's breath caught. "You want to give her your name? If you'll let me. If you'll marry me." Dante pulled back, looked at her. His eyes found hers. "I don't have a ring. I don't have a plan. But I'm asking anyway. Marry me. Let me be Grace's father. Build a life with me. Let me be your husband." Elena felt scared, excited, certain. "Yes, but not yet. Not until you've stepped back. Not until you've given Rocco control. Not until the violence stops." "Done." Dante's voice was firm. "I'll start tomorrow. By the time Grace comes home, I'll be free. We'll be free." He kissed her. Gentle, loving, full of promise. Elena kissed back, her hands in his hair, his arms around her. Two people choosing each other, choosing life over death, love over fear. 6 months later, Elena stood in the kitchen. Grace babbled in her high chair. 6 months old now, healthy, strong, perfect. Nico sat beside her. He was helping her eat, making faces. Grace laughed. He laughed too, sound finally returning to his voice. Dante entered through the back door. He wore jeans, a simple shirt. No blood, no weapons, just him, free. "How are my girls?" He kissed Elena, picked up Grace, spun her gently. "Your girls are perfect." Elena smiled. "How was your day?" "Good. The charity is doing well. We've helped 12 families this month, found jobs for 20 people." Dante sat, Grace in his lap. "Rocco says everything's running smoothly. He doesn't need me anymore." "He never did." Elena touched his face. "You just needed permission to leave." "I needed you." Dante's eyes found hers. "I needed this." Nico tugged Elena's sleeve. He spoke, quiet, careful, but real. "Can we go to the beach?" Elena gasped. Dante froze. Nico had spoken. After 3 years of silence, he'd spoken. "Yes." Elena's voice shook. "Yes, we can go to the beach." They went that afternoon, all four. Dante held Grace. Elena held Nico's hand. They walked the sand, collected shells, watched the waves. The sun set orange and gold. Grace fell asleep in Dante's arms. Nico ran ahead, chasing birds, laughing out loud. Elena leaned against Dante. "We did it. We survived. We did more than survive." Dante kissed her head. "We lived. We healed. We became whole." "Are you happy?" Elena asked. "More than I ever thought possible." Dante looked at her. His eyes found hers. "Are you?" "Yes." Elena smiled. "I'm home." They walked back as darkness fell. The mansion glowed in the distance. No longer a prison, no longer a fortress, just home. Inside, they put the children to bed. Nico in his room, Grace in her crib. Then they went to their room, their bed, their life. Dante held Elena close. "Thank you." "For what?" she asked. "For the wrong text. For the mistake that brought you here. For giving me a reason to live again." "It wasn't a mistake." Elena's voice was quiet. "It was fate." "You believe in fate?" Dante smiled. "I believe in us." Elena kissed him. "That's enough." They lay together. Two people who'd found each other in darkness, who'd built light from broken pieces, who'd chosen love over fear. Outside, waves crashed against the rocks. Inside, Grace stirred, but didn't wake. Nico breathed deeply in peaceful sleep. And Elena and Dante held each other. Their scars remained. Their pasts couldn't be erased, but their future stretched ahead. Bright, possible, real. Elena closed her eyes, felt Dante's heartbeat against her cheek, the steady rhythm of safety, of home, of family. She whispered, "We found each other." Dante whispered back, "We found home."